Hey there, I'm Mark from Spectrum Pulse, and today we have from Aminé, 13 Months of Sunshine. I feel like for as many times I've been reviewing Aminé, I've been waiting for him to hit his potential. I keep hearing that low-key charisma and quirky wit that's perfect for chill, summery pop rap, and yet it feels like he's always been a half step away from truly knocking it out of the park. It was more glaring with Aminé in 2023 with Kaytranada. That album should have been a slam dunk and way better than it is, but here we are with an album called 13 Months of Sunshine. I was praying for this to stick, at least in a vibe-heavy hip house lane, and thus it's kind of frustrating for me to say that once again we got a project where the potential seems to be lingering consistently and it can assemble a pretty decent groove eventually, but I'm still not remotely convinced that this Portland rapper is living up to his potential, and some of that might just be having a lower ceiling than we expect, where I wind up feeling disappointed, but I probably shouldn't be. Now, part of this is the soundscape, which distinctly reminds me of the shuffling, somewhat ramshackle blend of house, rap, R&B, even some Afrobeat and tropical elements that could create some stellar summer atmosphere in the mid-2010s. Think maybe Jamie XX, Drake at his most dance-ready, and a little bit more accessible, a bit of Chance the Rapper and the acts in and around Donnie Trumpet and the Social Experiment out of that Chicago scene. And like a lot of those acts that got a lot of play in those summers, there were the chill and flavorful grooves, but also the moments of pensive introspection, where there can actually be a little bit too much summer bliss that forces you to get into your feelings or reflect amidst it all. Getting really high will also lead to that. It's why the Child song from 2021 that shares the title with this album has that washed out summer feel, but also seems built to provoke those deeper thoughts. It's a very intentional juxtaposition. I mean, on this project, Sage Time is a goopy dud of a song early on the album, probably the worst here, because the line like, "After I nut, it's like a truck hit me, depression kicks in, it's like a drug to me," it's so painfully on the nose that placing it on the hook is a crowbar to any momentum, but it's also so wince-inducingly honest that the themes wind up feeling plain as day. But this is where we hit the first major problem of the project. For as long as it runs, the sequencing is just a mess. It starts off with sunnier notes and New Flower with Leon Thomas, but it immediately falls headfirst into melancholy before any vibes can stabilize, where I might excuse how shockingly abrupt it feels for songs like Sage Time to come in so early if the momentum didn't die as a result. Yes, it feels intentional in order to highlight an arc of trying to get out of his own head, live more in the moment. The results are not all bad here. History creates a pretty decent Childish Gambino feel, with Waxahatchee of all people providing the gentle assist, and that nails the quaking post-breakup melancholy and the spare, creaking angst of doing the best I can. It's kind of reminiscent of Chance the Rapper at his most somber. I consider that a compliment, and Aminé frequently attempts to up the tempo on the back half to get back into the chill flex, helped along by some underrated sung vocals on cuts like Raspberry Kisses, where, yeah, I hear the Drake comparison, but Aminé is considerably more warm and personable. But with every choppy and metallic pitch-shifted sample, chalky shuffle, and dreary synth, it never quite captures the vibrant magnetism to pay all this off. The vibe feels perpetually half-curdled, not helped by the odd combination of some songs running a little bit too long, and some feeling weirdly abbreviated, probably to go viral on TikTok. And even then, I think the album can hit winners, especially in the final quarter. I like the understated insecurity of Changer with Clothegod with its twinkling garage patter, and the faster house flair of Arc de Triomphe with probably some of the most pithy lines from Aminé. And while I'm not sure Images is as spacious or organic as it needs to pull off the vibe, especially with the creaking buzz from Toro et Moi, I like the sentiment and ending on a brighter note. And again, I'm still left pondering how much deeper or further Aminé can go. There is wit here, and I appreciate the interludes with his father as he's getting older and he tries to ask how his dad pulled it off. And it creates the contrast between going for the endless grind for the better days to get those 13 months versus savoring a single moment in time with the right people who will accept you, whether or not that's worth it. But it always feels clunkier than it should. Aminé's never been a great rapper so much as a fun personality, but that humor rarely pops off as brightly as you would hope, not quite getting out of his own way, which feels intentional but also got cross purposes for making this as strong as it could be. I'm not sure it plays to his strengths. In short, 13 Months of Sunshine is probably stretching longer than it should, with some awkward missteps that will be kinda tough to swallow if you got a lower tolerance for corny bars, or some self-serious introspection that's very millennial and it's trying to catch the mood. But I keep rooting for Aminé because I like his charisma, and in a way I can appreciate the arc he is attempting here. I'm reminded a lot of Saba, who tends to work better because he's a stronger MC with sharper insights and less varied but way more consistent beats. But there is a space for Aminé, especially if you have any mid-2010s nostalgia, and of which this album seems acutely aware of how long ago that was. That might also be contributing. So yeah, pretty decent listen, even if I don't remotely think it's his best or has maximized his potential, but I'm still probably gonna keep listening. It's gotta count for something, right? So yeah, thanks a lot for watching. If you want to see more, please be sure to like, share, drop comments, subscribe. Yeah, I know, I want to like this a lot more. It is what it is. I appreciate what it's doing. I think I get what it's trying to do. It just didn't quite land as strongly as I would hope. It happens. Beyond that, though, if you guys got comments on it, please leave them down there below, especially Aminé fans, because again, you guys all seem like a pretty chill bunch. I'm a little surprised where this is landing with the fan base. Beyond that, though, anything else I might be able to do to improve my presentation, I'm all ears. And if y'all want to help support the channel, get albums on my schedule, yell at me on my Discord, link to my Patreon and YouTube memberships is over there. Please don't feel obligated. Tough times, but the option's available. Till then, I'm Mark, you're watching Spectrum Pulse, and I'll see you next time.